everyone, this is Liz from the Beverly Public Library. Welcome to Steam Scribbles, where we share different science, technology, engineering, and math concepts using just pencils and paper. This week we're going to take a closer look at how snowflakes form. Snowflakes are small, but in order to build one we need to begin by looking at something that's even smaller. Snowflakes start out with a tiny particle, something like a flake of dust or a teeny tiny piece of pollen. So there's our flake of dust. As the weather gets colder and colder out, and it's cold enough for water to freeze, little droplets of water vapor will freeze to our flake of dust, like this. Then, as this flake of dust travels through the air, more and more droplets of water vapor are going to freeze on top of the droplets that are already there, creating an ice crystal, like this. And it'll keep going like that until we have a big snowflake, or big compared to a flake of dust anyway. Once the snowflake is heavy enough to fall to the ground, down it will come. You'll notice that I drew my water vapor droplets into 6 branches along my snowflake so that my snowflake is 6-sided or hexagonal. And if you've ever seen other pictures of snowflakes or drawings of snowflakes, you may remember that they are also 6-sided. And there's a reason that snowflakes are always 6-sided. It's because when water freezes into ice, it freezes in a hexagonal or 6-sided pattern. If you ever notice frost forming on a window, you'll see this happening in real time. You'll see the ice freezing into branches that branch into 6 sides until it covers the whole window. You may also notice that the snowflake I drew has rotational symmetry, or symmetry around a certain point. In the case of the snowflake, that certain point is the flake of dust that started the snowflake. Rotational symmetry will mean that each of these 6 branches around the snowflake are the exact same size and shape and are the same distance apart from each other around the flake of dust. For a refresher on symmetrical patterns, you can look back on our Steam Scribbles episode on symmetry. Even though all snowflakes are 6-sided and have rotational symmetry, no 2 snowflakes look exactly alike. This is because each snowflake is made up of thousands of tiny water droplets that are frozen onto it. That's how tiny the droplets are that we're talking about. Each of the thousands of water droplets that make up every snowflake attach randomly to the flake of dust and to the water droplets that are already there, based on how the snowflake is traveling through the air. Every snowflake takes a different path from the air to the ground, and each gust of wind can change exactly how a snowflake will end up looking. Let's see if we can draw some snowflakes together. You can draw as many snowflakes or as few as you want to. Just make sure that each of your snowflakes looks different from the rest of them. And remember that snowflakes will all have 6 sides, and each of those 6 sides should look identical because the snowflake should have rotational symmetry. But if you don't get it exactly perfect, it's okay. The branches can be as simple or as detailed as you want, as long as they all look the same. I find it helpful to add a line to one branch of my snowflake, then rotate my paper and add the same line to the next branch, and then the next one, and work all the way around. You can watch me scribble to see that technique, or if you're ready to just start scribbling, we can get to making our snowflakes together. Let's get scribbling. Scribblers, how did your snowflakes turn out? I bet each and every one of them turned out pretty. I had a little bit of trouble with making mine symmetrical, but you can see that they still turned out looking beautiful. But if you did not have trouble with that and you actually thought it was really easy, if you want something that's more challenging, try taking a blank piece of paper and make one big snowflake to take up the whole page and see how detailed you can make those branches. Be sure to share your snowflake scribbles with us on social media using the hashtag steamscribbles. And be sure to tune in again next month for another episode of Steam Scribbles. See you next time, Scribblers!